So we got notice a few days ago that Firearms Policy Coalition, along with other plaintiffs, filed a lawsuit against the state of California trying to get rid of the handgun roster, along with some other things. Now, I'm sure a lot of you were waiting for me to put out this video, and I was a little slow in putting out the video, and I'll explain why. If you watched my last video, I said that there's going to be an important California law update, as well as an important update for this channel. And so the important law update is this case, Reina V Becerra, which is getting filed against the state of California to get rid of the handgun roster. But the important channel update has to do with one of the plaintiffs here, and it has to do with this channel personally. Many of you are familiar that I am an attorney in the state of California, that I practice law through a private firm, but what I do is not Second Amendment related. What I've done for the last few years hasn't been directly Second Amendment related. Everything Second Amendment related in advocacy has been purely done through a hobby, through a passion of mine. And I started this channel purely just out of passion and hobby. But I'm really excited to let you guys know that I am still going to be practicing law, but what I'm now going to be doing is joining Firearms Policy Coalition as one of their staff attorneys. And in doing so, one of the amazing opportunities that I am going to have in working with Firearms Policy Coalition is going to be actually getting involved with these cases like Reina V Becerra, like Miller V Becerra, and actually getting in the legal side of things. So I'll be leaving the private practice that I've been doing previously and actually now working for Firearms Policy Coalition as a Second Amendment attorney. So this is really just an amazing update that I get to give you guys, because I really wasn't ever expecting, when I started YouTube, started talking about the Second Amendment, started talking about California gun laws, I never expected that I would end up here. I never even thought that I would get to wake up every day, fight for our constitutional rights, fight for our Second Amendment rights with an amazing organization like Firearms Policy Coalition. So first and foremost, I just want to thank you guys for supporting me, supporting this channel, because without you, this would never happen. I mean, really, it's your guys' interest in these topics. It's your interest in Second Amendment advocacy and what's going on in California and nationwide that has really put me in this position where now I get to advocate for Second Amendment rights every single day. And now, along the way, I'm gonna be able to give you guys even more insight on what's going on for very important cases to you guys like Miller v. Becerra. Now I'm gonna be able to actually go to the hearing, give you guys more information about Judge Benitez, what's going on with these cases, and just really just give you guys more information than I was able to do prior, because now I'm going to get to do this every day, deal directly with these cases, and give you guys even better information about what's going on. So I just want to thank you guys for supporting me along this crazy ride. And like I said, I would not be in this position without you guys. And my hope is that I get to represent you guys when we're actually filing these lawsuits and trying to punch the government in the mouth for violating our rights. So with all that said, now let's talk about Reina V Becerra, the lawsuit that us here at Firearms Policy Coalition filed on behalf of California gun owners against the state of California for violating our Second Amendment rights. And specifically, Reina V Becerra deals with getting rid of California's handgun roster. So if you're not familiar, in the state of California, California has instituted this law, or this piece of legislation, that is called the Unsafe Handgun Act. And what it does is it creates a list of firearms that are allegedly safe in the state of California and handguns that are not safe in the state of California. And what it does is it creates a roster of handguns that law-abiding citizens can walk into an FFL and purchase, and essentially prohibits individuals from being able to go into an FFL gun store and purchasing other handguns. For example, in the state of California, you can walk into an FFL and buy a Gen 3 Glock 19, Glock 17, but you can't walk into a gun store and buy a Gen 4 or Gen 5 Glock. That is because those items are not on the Safe Handgun roster. There's additional nuance to the Safe Handgun roster and the legislation that surrounds it, where specific individuals are exempt, like law enforcement officers. Law enforcement officers can go out and purchase off-roster handguns. And further adding to the web of nonsense in the state of California, California this year passed AB 2847, which was signed by Gavin Newsom and came to be known as the Backdoor Handgun Ban. And the reason why it became known as that is because it was a piece of legislation that created a weird workaround where California could remove 3 handguns from the current roster of handguns for every 1 safe handgun that was placed on it. AB 2847 changed the microstamping requirement, where prior, there needed to be 2 unique microstamping places on a spent handgun casing, but it was changed to 1. And the idea was to make it easier for various individuals or manufacturers to put handguns onto the roster, but in doing so, they also required that 3 not safe handguns or not safe handguns in the eyes of the state of California be removed off the list. So Reina V Becerra challenges this whole structure. It challenges all these ridiculous laws that the state of California has in place, which deems some guns or some handguns safe and deems other guns not safe, and therefore prohibits California residents from being able to purchase those handguns. This does not just challenge the handgun roster and the Safe Handgun Act, but it also challenges those aspects of the law that prohibit individuals from self-manufacturing handguns and self-manufacturing handguns that are technically not on the roster of handguns, as well as those various regulatory structures and schemes that are placed on those individuals who manufacture these handguns themselves. So this is very unique in that it is a comprehensive challenge, not just to the handgun roster itself, but also the various webs and arms of the handgun roster that prohibit individuals from self-manufacturing handguns themselves as well. So this is a very significant case here in the state of California. The hope of FBC and me is that through this action, we win back our rights here in the state of California, that we undo the various handgun restrictions that we have here in the state of California, so that us here in the state of California can walk into an FFL, purchase any handgun that any other individual in any other state is able to actually purchase. So this is a very important case. I will definitely be keeping you guys updated as this case develops and as I get more information actually working in this case, working with people in FBC on this case. And my hope is to bring you guys even more important information that you otherwise wouldn't have gotten unless you actually knew someone working on this case. And now you actually do know someone who's in FBC who's going to be working on these types of things. So if you would like to donate to FBC, you can do that. I'll put a link down the details section in the comment section to FBC. You're not required to donate. Just keep in mind, now you do know that if you donate to FBC, it's going to go to people like me that work for FBC, so we can file lawsuits like this that will directly benefit you and help win back your Second Amendment rights, not just here in the state of California, but nationwide. I also want to thank everybody who supported me along the way, my family members, my wife, my parents, everybody who's shown me support, who encouraged my weird hobby, encouraged this whole weird YouTube thing. And I want to thank all the various sponsors who supported the channel along the way. We had like Franklin Armory, Thordston, Got Your Six, USCCA, Kershaw Knives, all these companies who supported my videos, supported what I did along the way, helped actually make it financially feasible for me to do what I was doing, and now it's put me in the position now where I get to join FBC and fight for our rights, advocate for our rights, and really actually do something more than just put up videos on YouTube, but actually get engaged with these things. So if you have any questions, go ahead and comment down below and I'll try to answer the best of my ability. Also, if you like this video and like support the channel, one of the best ways you can do that is like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell because it helps the channel analytics, helps us spread the word about the Second Amendment, and also spread the word about things like this that are going on in the state of California and also going on nationwide. So as always, thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and never forget this nation was built by armed scholars and this nation will be maintained by armed scholars.